All right, peace and blessings, family. This is your radio host, Nicky Love, a.k.a. Wunam, your spiritual guide. And I know all is well. We don't like to hope all is well, because when we hope all is well, we put negative energy into one's path. So we should always know all is well. As you all see, we're going to have a special guest tonight, okay? And Chris Keller has been on the show before. I think it was last year sometime we had Chris Keller on the show. Okay, and he is going to be talking about spiritual surgery using quantum healing energy for healing the Ebola virus. Now, to give you a little background on Chris, Chris Keller is a quantum energy practitioner healer who specializes in finding the trouble areas in the body and the stresses within that area by using the pendulum and chart method of dowsing. After working 30 years in the printing and newspaper industry, Chris retired in 2007. A door opened for Chris, which would lead him into the world of energy healing, realizing that his intuitive nature was more than just coincidence. Chris began taking courses in many different modalities, and to his credit, Chris has found great success in certification and dowsing pendulum, radionics, healing with metaphysical tools, quantum touch, muscle testing, applied kinesiology, and foot bath detox and live blood analysis. Chris has learned very quickly that when working with universal energies, one must think not just outside the box, but way outside the box. By this, we mean that all possibilities need to be considered when working with a person's ill health. Not only are things like viruses and infections tested for, but also off-the-wall possibilities like entities, aliens, demons, karmic debt, and how well your body is grounded to the earth are considered. After the problem area and stresses have been located, the frequencies of the stresses can be neutralized with the use of crystalline metaphysical tools and radionics. With this protocol, it is possible for pains and ailments to be alleviated within a short period of time. Now, Chris's work has become a worldwide phenomenon in energetic and remote distance healing, as he works with anyone and everyone in the entire world via Skype and telephone, which has gained him and his clinic worldwide notoriety. We're going to go ahead and bring Chris in, and let me bring him in.
Hi, this is Chris here.
Chris, welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Nikki, for having me back on.
It's a pleasure. Well, Chris, first I want you to, we did pretty much explaining your bio, pretty much to the listening audience. But one of the topics I know you wanted to discuss was talking about what's going on with the Ebola virus. Now, I did actually research some information on that, and I did see that there's an outbreak that the World Health Organization is dealing with now in Africa, in certain parts of Africa. So I noticed, when I got an email, the person in the email said, well, there's supposed to be an outbreak of the Ebola virus in the African-American community here in America. So tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll get into some more questions of how you do your work and your healing and all that good stuff.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on at such short notice. This is a very, very big problem that needs to be nipped in the bud, if you will, before it becomes a global pandemic. I think this time around, the Ebola virus definitely has that possibility to get this far. There is a lot of concern within the medical community and the WHO about what is happening in North Africa with this virus. The amount of deaths that are happening, doctors are dying, and many people are getting very sick. And with the work that I do, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that there is something I can do. I was watching the news, and it came down from above, if you want to say that. It's time for me to shine. It's time for humanity to catch a break, if you will. What I've been doing for a lot of people is I've been making videos and posting them on YouTube. Videos for certain things, like removing a headache or doing specific things for specific clients that I can't reach one-to-one basis. It does work. The energy will stay within the video of whatever I intend. The healing will take place. Seeing as everybody in this area in Africa has got the same thing, it's going to be actually, I'm going to dare to say, somewhat easy to be able to help eradicate this virus. I just thought, before this thing starts to spread, with the work that I can do and the work that I've proven to many people around the world that does work when you're doing distance healing, I know that I can certainly help on a very big scale anybody within Africa, or even people who have traveled from Africa into the United Kingdom or anywhere else in the world who has this virus. I know that I can help them with it.
Now, for those who are not familiar with the Ebola virus, some of the symptoms, they say that are, that you would get with the virus is a fever, throat and muscle pains, headache, nausea, and from what I understand, there's no cure for the virus, and it actually takes your life very quickly, and it actually also begins to cause people to have problem with bleeding. I pretty much did a lot of research on it and very familiar with it, being in the medical field at one time. What I'm concerned about is that they're talking about it spreading here to the USA.
If there's a lot of travel back and forth, and there are lots of African-American people in Ghana and all the areas that are affected with the Ebola, traveling back and forth to the States especially. There's lots of travel elsewhere also, but there is quite a bit of travel back and forth. So the concern is that the spread of this virus from one continent to another. And, with the population in North America and the United States, it is of a very, very big concern. And looking at like you said, the violent nature of this virus and how it can spread so easily, it has to be contained. Something needs to be done. And we're here today to do it. Now, I have posted a video on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, with the energies within it. If somebody was to have this virus and they were to watch the video, there is an extremely good chance that this virus will go away. I'm not making any promises because I haven't had any feedback yet, but ultimately with what I have done, people who have this virus, if they watch the video over and over again, maybe 5 or 6 times, there is an extremely good chance that this virus will go away and they'll be healed.
I know there are, again, from the research I've done, there's actually 2 Caucasian doctors over there now that actually have the Ebola virus. From what I understand, one of them is doing okay. I think we should be concerned that it can affect all, just not African Americans, for the simple fact that you have a lot of Caucasians, Asians that go over to Africa as well. I think this is something we need to look at on a broader scale and realize that there's a lot of people that go over to Ghana, Nigeria, to Zimbabwe, and they're of many colors. So this is something we should really, be worried about. But one of the ways you talk about healing the Ebola virus is using energy. How would you go about healing them? Because that's we're talking about a virus that it can kill you within 10 days. So what are some of the methods you would take? Now, I know you deal with a lot of sacred geometry. Go ahead and explain that to the listening audience of what you do with your tools and how you use sacred geometry anyway.
Well, first of all, we start off with an intent. So we make an intent and we word it a specific way so that the quantum energy or the God energy that's all around us will ignite and it will follow that intent that I make. The intent that I make is to neutralize, eliminate, and kill all Ebola virus within the red blood cells, within the plasma, within the white blood cells, and within the entire body of any host person who has it. And then what I do is I have a pyramid. The sacred geometry that I use is in the form of a pyramid. And it's 5 pyramids stacked on top of each other, all at 90-degree right angles. The pyramid is loaded with different crystals and different magnets and a lot of different other sacred geometry within it. And what this pyramid does is 2 things. Number 1, it acts as an antenna for the quantum point energy or the God energy to come in and utilize my intent. And number 2, it acts as an amplifier for these energies. So if somebody was to just use their hands to run the intent, it would be there, but it won't go to the depth within the body that the pyramid does. The pyramid goes 15 layers deep into the body, which is extremely deep. When you use sacred geometry like a pyramid or some other type of sacred geometry tool, it does enhance, it amplifies, and it really captures the quantum energy needed to go in and fulfill the intent.
What I would like you to do is, I know last time you were on the show, you actually did a test with the listening audience. Can you share some of your healing stories with the people?
Oh, absolutely. There has been so many lately. Now, the healing system that I use is a two-part system. The first part, of course, you need to know what the problem is within somebody. So somebody will come in and they will list off some symptoms that they're having, like, let's say, digestive problems or headaches, abdominal pain, or whatever. And, the words diabetes and arthritis, they really mean nothing. They're just badges that the medical community gives you to wear. If you have these symptoms, you get to wear this badge. I don't really work on so much the name of the disease. Sometimes I do, but that's only because we want to blanket the entire phenomenon of the disease. But I will look in to see what is causing your diabetes, what is causing your arthritis. I'll use a pendulum with a series of charts I've developed. Now, the spirit guides that I use that help guide the pendulum are very, very in tune and specific to the work that I'm doing. So we work extremely close. They're able to go in and find the deepest part of the health problem, whether it's a poor blood type within your blood. Let's say you have a mixed blood type, you have Rh negative and you have an Rh positive marker within your DNA that's causing some problems in your blood. We can work with that. We can work deep into the DNA and the chromosomes to find the health problem, and we can simply just remove pain out of the body, whatever it may be. So once I find what area of your body to work on and what the stressor is, and the stressor can be a virus, a bacteria, a parasite, it can also be something negative like a spirit attachment. It could be some type of poltergeist. It can be something demonic. It can be something extraterrestrial. There are a lot of different avenues that you have to look at when you're looking at a health problem. So I always look for the energetic, spiritual component, and I also look for the physical ailment. And by removing both of those, then the vibrational rate or the health of the affected area will start to come up. For instance, I did a radio show a few weeks ago, and somebody had knee pain. I used my pendulum to find out what was causing the knee pain and found that there was a lesion underneath their kneecap. I intended with the pyramid that this lesion is to go away, is to neutralize and go away. Within a matter of seconds, the pain in this person's knee went away and she's able to walk on it and start running without any pain. That's how fast things can happen. If it's an acute problem and it's not very large, it can happen right away. Sometimes it takes a few weeks for things to happen, and it takes a few multiple appointments. But ultimately, if we find the problem, it will go away. So I wanted people listening to know that there are things that I am doing on an energy level that certainly can help with this problem. Now, the YouTube video I have, if you go on YouTube and you go into the search box and you write in Ebola, mass healing, or mass graves, my video will come up, and if you watch this video, I explain within it what I'm doing, and I do run energy within the video that will stay within the server and the video on an ongoing basis, and people can access it anytime they want in order to help facilitate a healing to get rid of this Ebola. It is such a very big problem that I just felt I needed to do something. I couldn't just sit around on my hands and say, well, I hope this goes away. So I really felt it was brought to me from God that said, time to shine. That's the only words I heard was time to shine. This is what I'm doing, trying to do for humanity to help better our lives and better our chances to beat this deadly virus.
Chris Kaler is really, really kind and trying to just be able to put his free resources out there to help people. So he sent us a video and asked us and anybody else to spread this on so that anybody who is affected in North Africa or anywhere and placed in the line of fire with this Ebola can get a energetic healing through watching the video. So could we put a link to his video, and if anyone's interested in checking it out?
Yeah, we'll put a link to that. We
watched it last night, you and I. It's about 3 minutes, and he does like this mass healing, and I'll tell you, like you and I stood there. He uses his what do you call that, like a pyramid or a triangle? Or he's
got this pyramid with crystals and stuff on it.
And points it at the camera. And I personally am very sensitive to energy, and I completely, like, it threw me back a bit.
Yeah, I didn't feel anything, but you're really sensitive. I'm finding
really
that you're
sensitive.
Really much more sensitive than I am.
Yeah.
But
so there's definitely some power in that, and it's amazing that he's doing it just to help humanity. And you know, we've talked to a lot of people that he's helped personally, and if everyone in need actually can get to this video, that's his goal, is to have this be about just humanity, not anything about money. It doesn't cost anything. It's free.
Yeah, it's all free. You can just pass it on.
Pass it on to anybody and everybody. So we'd be really stoked.
Everybody, Chris here. Out of the office today. Got something important we want to do for North Africa. Watching the news and looking at all this Ebola stuff. Looking kind of scary, isn't it? I thought there's got to be something that I can do about it to help humanity. And yeah, I came up with something, all right, straight from above, came right down and said, okay, Chris, time to shine. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a video. This is the video. And I'm going to run some energy to kill the Ebola virus within whoever watches it. So the important thing about this video is that people get to see it. So if you're watching this video and you know of somebody in your area within Africa, or if you know somebody who lives in Africa, if you're in another country, and you could pass the word to watch this video, then please do, by all means. It's not going to cost anybody anything. We're going to call the video Mass Healing Before Mass Graves, because this Ebola stuff is a scary business. And, you know, if this gets to North America, to Europe, to China, who knows how far it goes. So we need to do this video for humanity. So let's get started, shall we? So here is the pyramid. We're going to hold it up to the camera. Here we go. And by the grace of God, neutralize and eliminate all Ebola virus within the host's blood stream. Neutralize and eliminate all Ebola virus from the host's red blood cells, white blood cells, plasma, and platelets. Terminate and send back to hell all Ebola virus within the host's entire body. Okay, so there we go. Now it's important for anybody who is unfortunate enough to have this very bad illness to watch this video as much as possible. If there's a group of people who want to watch it together, if they all held hands and two people held their hands on the computer, that would amplify things. So a mass healing with this is very, very key and crucial. So if you're a radio host that I've been on, I'm going to be contacting you to tell people about this video. If you're a healer yourself and you want to get the word out, by all means, please get the word out. Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is it takes. I'm going to be doing my Facebook page. I'm going to be doing Twitter like crazy. I'm not a Twitter person, but believe me, I'm going to become one. So everybody, please spread the word about this video. We really need to do what we can to stop this crazy satanic illness. Chris Kaler out.